How is the city tackling the big issues in your neighborhood? Well, we're getting answers straight from the source of all the wards throughout the great city of Hamilton, and today is no exception. Ward 10 Councillor from Hamilton City Councillor is Jeff Beattie. Joins us now in the Cable 14 studio. Councillor, nice to see you today, sir.
Great to see you too, Mike.
Good to see you, my man. Good to see you, yeah. How has this first term been for you?
It's been an adventure.
I don't want to call you a rookie anymore. You've been at it for 3 years.
Yeah, I appreciate that. There are days when I wake up and I think I have still the rookie sweats in the morning, but it takes a little while to figure out how everything works, but I think we've hit our stride. And
how long would you say it took you to kind of get your feet wet and the understandings of how things kind of move around there at City Hall?
I would say, some components take longer than others.
Right.
I had a background previous. I was an elected school board trustee, so some of the roles and responsibilities, I kind of had at least a basic framework and understanding of how that worked. Right. But it's not directly comparable, so there's always new learning. I think every day you're still discovering a new piece. It's a big organization. I mean, the City of Hamilton is really truly massive in its size and scope and what it does. So some things we're quick to pick up, some things, work in progress.
I understand that makes sense. And you're also a third generation business owner. Correct. Out in Winona.
Yeah.
How has that helped you in your role as a councillor for this city now?
Well, I can say in two ways. It helps in some ways, but then also coming from the private sector, a little different configuration. Public sector doesn't quite work like the private sector does. So some learning on that, adaptability. But being able to set targets, working directly with people. The company that I own is client focused. We're a retail organization, so you're dealing with people. I think the primary difference, Mike, if I can be candid, is that if you come into my garden center, I can almost guarantee you're going to leave happy.
Yes.
That isn't always the case.
After knocking on the doors, right? Doing some canvassing.
Sometimes you have to accept that you're not going to be able to make that one person happy, but we do try our best.
Of course you do. Thick skin, no doubt.
Yeah.
Give us an update on Stony Creek. What has been happening in your ward particularly?
So the Stony Creek, Fruitland, Winona area, if we take the ward and kind of break it down into two pieces, maybe Fruitland Road is the dividing line. We have the older part of the ward, which is a mature, stable community, a lot of infrastructure and whatnot, built in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. And then on the other side, we have the high growth area, which is the Fruitland, Winona area, as part of the Stony Creek urban boundary expansion. So we have those two dynamics where we have a lot of renewal taking place in the older sections, and then we have to anticipate and grow and prepare for growth in the other sections. So all of those things happening at once. We've been tackling a lot of the renewal backlogs in the area, particularly with parks. We've been really focused on renewing a lot of the older parks in the community. We also have, as I mentioned, a lot of growth happening in the Winona area, and we're trying to get new roads built. In preparation of that, there's going to be 5 new parks, new rec center, new arena, things of that nature, all the amenities. So making sure that those projects stay on a tight timeline, making sure that we're prepared for the future, that's a lot of what's been happening in the area.
And that's the growth that you need as we are a city that continues to grow at a fairly quick rate, I would say.
Yeah.
Let's go from centric Stony Creek, Winona, Fruitland, where you are, and now let's go a little broader into the great city of Hamilton. That, of course, you just pick up a newspaper nowadays, we're having our challenges.
We are.
In regards to homelessness, what are you seeing right now in regards to where you are in your ward and in regards to the bigger size of thing and moving this forward in a positive way?
So it's a challenge, like you made note of. Specifically in our community, thankful that our exposure, and I don't want to mean that in a negative term, but we haven't had the same level of homelessness issues in Ward 10. We have had some. We're not immune to it. We still have to deal with it. Very thankful to Hamilton Police and City of Hamilton Housing Services Division for their hard work to deal and help and assist those that are in need in our community. But then back for the broader community, I drive in from Winona every day to City Hall and see what's happening on the street. The City of Hamilton has made some historic investment in trying to combat the problem. It seems, though, that we are not getting ahead of the curve. So I'm always interested in working with our higher level governments, trying to get that new investment, trying to get the assistance that we need to really deal with the problem. But it feels like we're stuck right now.
We're stuck, and it doesn't make it any easier when so much is being downloaded federally and provincially down to us. And we've seen other councillors, Councillor Spatafora, Councillor Clark, talk about those things as well. It's like,
Correct.
How can we get ahead when everything's just being thrown down on our municipality? And that's the same with the other 444 that I think that are out there too. It's not just Hamilton.
Sure. I always believe in working with people and trying to find ways to collaborate, having open channels of communication. So I work very well with both my MP and MPP. We have regular sessions where we sit down and discuss the needs, and I'm always advocating on behalf of not just our Stoney Creek area, but on the broader city of Hamilton. I think that that's the path forward. I don't like to kind of poke people in the eyeball or something and tell them what they're doing wrong. I'd rather see what are the opportunities to work together on something, to accomplish some great things together. I think that is going to be where we will see the win, is by continually going back and saying, okay, how do we work together on this? How do we, all work on this piece, you work on that piece, how do we bring this all together? Maybe I'm overly optimistic, but I think that that's the best way to get out of this.
I think it's important to be overly optimistic.
Yeah.
You mentioned you take the drive in from Winona. Do you take Barton Street by any chance?
I don't.
Okay, because I took Barton Street today coming in to Cable 14.
I know where this is going, Mike.
Oh, you do? Okay, well, it's all about infrastructure. And
for sure.
Man, it was like, I love my Elvis and rock and roll, but in my van, it was really rocking and rolling today.
For sure.
I know there's discussion about infrastructure and there's money set aside for that. When can we start to see some of those improvements really starting to take effect in place?
So I have the benefit of sitting on the Public Works Committee, so I do see a lot of the work from the legislative and the planning stages that we're going through, and I know that Barton Street has been a hot topic for a very long time, and it's I think the one street that kind of connects us all. Like Winona is the demarcation point. It's where Barton Street actually ends.
Right.
So we have a connection to that, and we have a plan in our neighborhood to rebuild it on our end to prepare for all the growth I was telling you about. That's going to take place in the next couple of years. But more specifically, I think you were talking about that area in the maybe Ottawa Street through to the Barton Village and whatnot. I know that Councillor Nan, Councillor Huang have brought forward motions to try to get those really important infrastructure pieces renewed. There is money being spent. I believe it's in the 2026 work plan to get that done. Unfortunately, we're in a kind of a state where the demands outweigh the ability. Even if we had the money, there's only so many people to do the actual work. There's only so many project managers. There's only so many contractors. That said, we are going to see some work done on Barton Street, and I think the entire city is going to be thankful for
We
that.
have under a minute left.
Yeah.
I'm a producer. If I don't get out in 30 seconds.
For sure.
We talked about Stoney Creek, Winona, with the development, with the urban stuff. In regards to safety in your neck of the woods, what's it looking like right now?
Statistically, on paper anyways, the Ward 10 community has one of the lower crime rates in the city. So we're pleased with that. One of the key things that I've worked really hard on was to develop a really good relationship with our police early on. So we've nurtured that. We've increased the exposure. We see more police in our area. They're interacting with us more. We're going to continue down that road. But I do recognize that people still have a feeling, and those feelings, perception becomes reality, as the saying goes.
He's Councillor Jeff Beattie. Can we see you in the upcoming election?
I'll be there. I'll be back here with you.